Hello students, let's do another example. We learned in class how to subtract unlike fractions, and this is an example in your workbook, question 1C on page 69. I'm going to go through so that we can see some visual representations using our disk. Okay, so first of all, when we say we are subtracting unlike fractions, what does the word unlike mean? Now, unlike fractions mean that the fractions that we are looking at have different denominators. Yeah, so fifths means that the whole is cut into 5 equal parts, and we are looking at 2 of those parts. Tenth means that the whole is cut into 10 equal parts, and we are looking at 1 of these parts. Now, when we are dealing with unlike fractions, we need to know that because the whole is cut into 5 parts here and the whole is cut into 10 parts, that these parts are of different sizes. So a fifth looks something like this, and tenths look something like this if our whole is a full circle. Okay, so let's start our question. We have 2/5, and I'm going to show you 2/5 here. And from 2/5, I want to take away 1/10. Now, I want to take 1/10 away from here, but as you can see, there are no tenths here. These are fifths. Now, how can I make these fifths to look like tenths? Now, this is where equivalent fraction comes in handy, because we know that we can actually write 2/5 as equivalent. So I'm going to choose to multiply the denominator and numerator by 2. Now I choose 2 because I want the denominator to become tenth. Now if I multiply by 2 in the numerator and the denominator, I will get an equivalent fraction of 4/10. 2 times 2, 4. 5 times 2, 10th. And I did not change that, so I'm just going to write that in. Now let me show you the fraction list. So when we have 2/5, it is actually the same or equivalent to 4/10. Here we have 2, 3, 4. Can you see that 4/10 is exactly the same amount as 2/5? So instead of calling it 2/5, I can also call it 4/10, which is good because now I have the same denominator. So now let's look at this 4/10. 4/10, and I want to take away 1/10. So I'm going to take away one piece of a tenth, and I will be left with 3/10. So it's important to note when we are subtracting fractions that we always need to have the same denominator, because if we do not have the same denominators, the pieces are not the same size. If I have fifths, I cannot be taking away tenth. So what I have done, I have used equivalent fractions to change it, find the equivalent to a tenth, and then I was able to take away that 1/10. Now check, is this in the simplest form? Yes, it is, because 3 can only be divided by 3, but 10 cannot divide by 3. So there is no number which I can divide both the numerator and denominator to go to the simplest form. So this is already the simplest form. Always remember to check if your fraction is in the simplest form.